Krause here again, talking about cell biology, simplistic, super simple cell biology. It's chapter 5 in the first edition of Super Simple. Second edition out in August 2020, just plugging it. So, in the first column of that H2O sheet on page 12, in the first edition, at first column, organizational hierarchy, and cells is all in caps, in red, in bold, in larger font. And the reason for that is the cell is the structural and functional unit of the human body. If you want to understand anatomy, if you want to understand physiology in particular, you have to understand cell structure and cell function. So chapter 5 talks about simplified cellular biology and looks at a typical or a generic human cell, which has three basic parts. It has a cell membrane, cytoplasm with intracellular organelles, and it has a nucleus containing DNA and RNA. It's important for the introductory student to know that generic cell structure. In the first edition of Super Simple, it's figure 5.1 on page 46. But you can just put in generic human cell into Google, and it'll bring you up tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of similar types of diagrams. In fact, looking at two or three of those, listening to Hank Green in Crash Course talk about cell structure and cell biology and cellular function can be really helpful. You need to approach these things by examining them from a variety of perspectives. Super Simple is a great guide and a great learning tool, but supplement it with all of the other great resources that are out there, or one of the big reference texts, McKinley or Marab or Tortora or Saladin. They've all got a similar type of diagram. And then know the cell membrane. Really, really important. It's an SPPLBL, a semi-permeable phospholipid bilayer. Semi-permeable, some stuff goes through, primarily water, other stuff doesn't go through. Protein molecules, charged particles. Phospholipid, it's a fat, primarily a fatty membrane. It's a bilayer, phospholipid bilayer, so it's two layers of phospholipid molecules with hydrophilic heads and hydrophobic tails. Hydrophilic, they like water. Hydrophobic, they're afraid of water, so they hide toward the inside of the membrane. And because it's a fatty membrane, fat substances or molecules like steroid-based endocrine hormones, the sex hormones, the adrenal cortical hormones, will more easily or readily go through that membrane as opposed to protein-like molecules. And most of the endocrine hormones are protein or protein-like molecules. So know the cell membrane, and then you need to know the three cell membrane extensions or modifications on the surface of the cell. Cilia, hair-like projections that wave and move, primarily mucus, like in the trachea and the large bronchial tubes of the lungs. Microvilli, which are finger-like projections on the surface of the cell that increase surface area to facilitate absorption of nutrients. So you find them on the simple columnar cells that line the intestines, the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine. Great example, both of those, of FFF, form follows function. Things are shaped the way they're shaped because of what they do. And then flagella that you only find in sperm, and they provide motility. And there are three types of cell junctions you need to be aware of, ways that cells hook together. Tight junctions, really tight. Desmosomes provide added structural integrity needed when cells are under stress. I'm reading right out of Super Simple. Like skin cells or cardiac muscle cells. Great place where you'll find desmosomes, but also you'll find the third type of cell junction, gap junctions, called gap junctions, because they have gaps in them, they have holes in them. So charged particles primarily can move easily from one cardiac cell to the other. And histologically, as we'll discuss when we get to histology in the next chapter, chapter 6 in Super Simple, those desmosomes and gap junctions in cardiac muscle create a distinguishing histological feature called intercalated discs. Intercalated discs. And finally, with cells, you need to know mitosis, cell division where one cell produces two identical daughter cells. 46 chromosomes to two cells. One cell, 46 chromosomes, produces two daughter cells, both with 46 chromosomes. And it has two purposes as far as functions in the human organism: growth and repair. And I'm not overly concerned with you knowing the stages. They're listed on page 48, stages of mitosis. Those get memorized in high school, 10th grade biology or whatever. What I think is most important is that you understand the conceptual foundation of the function of mitosis: growth and repair. We start out as an ovum, an egg, gets together with a sperm, both 22 chromosomes or a haploid number of chromosomes, and they form a single cell with 46 chromosomes called a zygote. And that zygote grows into a multi-trillion cell organism. You, me, siblings, parents, kids, whatever. And that zygote, one cell, becomes trillions of cells through the process of mitosis, growth, then it's able to repair itself during life. Growth and repair. Mitosis, growth and repair. Say that. Mitosis, growth and repair. Mitosis, growth and repair. Meiosis only occurs in the ovaries and the testes, and it will take a 46 chromosome cell and produce in the testes 4 cells that are 23 chromosomes, haploid number of chromosomes in the sperm. Meiosis produces sex cells, eggs, ova, or oocytes, fun word to say, there's an oocyte in the female and sperm in the male. 23 chromosomes are a haploid number. So that's cell biology made super simple. Krause out.